This is not just a story of gods and angels. It is a story about you. It's a tale whispered through the ages, not of distant deities, but of the timeless struggle for power and freedom that beats within every human heart. Long before the Olympians reigned from their celestial throne, there was a golden age, a time of supposed prosperity and peace, ruled by the mighty Titan, Cronus. He was the lord of the universe, the master of time itself. Under his dominion, the cosmos was orderly, predictable. But beneath this veneer of tranquility, a seed of terror had been planted. A prophecy, a dark whisper from his own parents, Gaia and Uranus, foretold his doom. It claimed that just as he had overthrown his father, so too would he be overthrown by one of his own children. This prophecy became Cronus's obsession, a shadow that clung to his every thought. Fear, cold and absolute, gripped the heart of the most powerful being in existence. And so, he devised a horrific solution to defy his fate. As his wife, the Titaness Rhea, gave birth to their divine children, one by one, Cronus would seize them. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. He swallowed each of them whole, imprisoning them within the darkness of his own body, a living tomb meant to preserve his reign. Imagine the anguish of Rhea, a mother forced to watch her children stolen from her moments after their birth. Her heart broke with each stolen child, her silent screams echoing in a universe that bowed to her tyrannical husband. She saw the cycle of violence repeating Cronus, perpetuating the same cruelty he had once fought against. Desperation forged a new strength within her. She would not allow her next child to suffer the same fate. When her youngest son, Zeus, was born, Rhea's plan was set in motion. Under the cloak of night, she spirited the infant away to the remote and rugged island of Crete. There, in a deep and hidden cave, he would be safe. To deceive her paranoid husband, she wrapped a large stone, the Amphilis stone, in swaddling clothes. She presented this bundle to Cronus, her face a mask of sorrow. Blinded by his fear and arrogance, the king of the Titans didn't hesitate. He seized the decoy and swallowed the stone, believing he had once again cheated destiny. He was content, secure in his power, utterly unaware that the instrument of his downfall was now growing strong and defiant, far from his sight. On Crete, Zeus was raised in secret, nurtured by nymphs and protected by the island's mystical guardians. He drank the milk of the goat Amalthea and was watched over by the Curetes warriors who would clash their spears and shields to drown out the sound of his infant cries, lest Cronus hear him. He grew not just in stature, but in wisdom and righteous fury. He was the living embodiment of rebellion, the hope his mother had risked everything for. So, what does this ancient myth tell us? It's a powerful lesson about fate, rebellion, and the inescapable, cyclical nature of power. Cronus's story is not just about a paranoid god. It's about the universal human fear of being replaced, of losing control, of the relentless passage of time that dethrones us all, whether from our positions of power or from our youth. His desperate attempt to stop the future only guaranteed its arrival. By trying to swallow his children, he wasn't just consuming his offspring. He was trying to consume time itself, to halt the forward march of progress and change. This is a pattern we see repeated throughout history and even in our own lives. The established order, comfortable in its power, often fears the new generation, the new ideas, the winds of change that threaten to topple its throne. We build walls, not just of stone, but of dogma and tradition, to keep the future at bay, just as Cronus imprisoned his children. But like Zeus, the future cannot be contained forever. It will always find a way to be born, to grow in the shadows, and to eventually rise up and challenge the old guard. Rhea's deception is the spark of hope in the darkness. It is the courage of a mother, the whisper of defiance against an unshakable tyranny. It teaches us that even in the face of overwhelming power, a clever plan, a courageous heart, and a desperate love can plant the seeds of a revolution. Zeus, hidden away, represents that spark of potential that exists in the most unexpected places. He is the idea that cannot be extinguished, the rebellion that brews in silence before it roars. When Zeus came of age, he returned not just as a son seeking vengeance, but as a liberator. He tricked his father into disgorging his siblings, who emerged fully grown and ready for war. The great Titanomachy began a 10-year war that shook the foundations of the cosmos. The new generation of gods, led by Zeus, clashed with the old guard of titans. It was a brutal, cataclysmic struggle, but in the end, the prophecy was fulfilled. Cronus was overthrown, and a new era, the Age of the Olympians, began. This isn't just a simple tale of good versus evil. It's a reflection of the universe's natural rhythm: creation, destruction, and rebirth. The fall of Cronus was necessary for the rise of Zeus. The old must give way to the new. This cycle is not just in the heavens, it is within us. We all carry a piece of Cronus inside, that fear of change, that desire to hold on to what is familiar, to control our world. We build routines, hold on to beliefs, and sometimes we try to swallow the things that challenge us, hoping they'll just go away. But we also carry the spirit of Zeus. Within every person lies that potential for liberation, the strength to break free from the prisons we or others have built. It is the courage to question, to challenge, to fight for a new and better reality. It is the understanding that true power isn't about eternal control, but about embracing change and allowing for new growth. The story of Cronus and Zeus is the eternal, internal battle we all face. Will we be the tyrant, ruled by fear, clinging to a fading past? Or will we be the liberator, embracing the future and fighting for our own rebirth? This ancient myth mirrors our own lives, reminding us that even from the darkest depths, a new dawn can and will emerge. God Story Reborn. Subscribe for more stories of light and rebirth.